This move would complete the Denver Broncos offensive line. What's up, guys? Welcome to Denver Broncos Syndicate, part of the Sports Syndicate family of channels where we are dedicated to bringing you content about our favorite sports teams. I am your host, Gage Madrid. Before we jump in, guys, if you could just do me a big favor and smash the like button on this video as well as subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Those are two free and easy ways that you can help show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out to fellow members of Broncos country just like you and me. So the Denver Broncos spent big money to upgrade their offensive line in free agency. They gave right tackle Mike McGlinchey a 5-year, $87.5 million deal, and they gave left guard Ben Powers a 4-year, $51.5 million deal. With Garrett Bowles set to return from his season-ending injury and Quinn Miners absolutely anchoring down the right guard spot, the Denver Broncos are looking to have a formidable offensive line unit entering 2023. That said, though, there is still one position that sticks out as a bit of a weakness on that unit, and that is the center position, and that is arguably the second most important position on the offensive line. When the Broncos drafted Lloyd Cushenberry out of LSU in the 3rd round in 2020, the hope was that he could be their long-term starting center for years to come. Unfortunately, that pick has never really panned out. Cushenberry was madly inconsistent in the first 2 years of his career, and in year 3, he suffered a season-ending injury in week 8. Cushenberry later came out and said that they could have activated him off IR after just 4 weeks, but they chose not to activate him and ultimately kept Graham Glasgow as their starting center for the rest of the season. The Broncos cut Glasgow to save $11 million against the cap, and he went back to his old team, the Detroit Lions, in free agency. So now the Broncos depth chart at center currently features Lloyd Cushenberry at the top, and behind him is 2022 5th round pick Luke Wattenberg. When Wattenberg got playing time last season, he was really in over his head. He struggled mightily both in pass protection and as a run blocker. Granted, most of his playing time last season came at guard, which was not his natural position, but even in training camp, he struggled at his natural position at center. Personally, I do not have a whole lot of confidence in Luke Wattenberg, and given the fact that he was a pick from the prior regime, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut coming out of training camp. I believe that there is a move that the Denver Broncos could make that could really solidify their offensive line as one of the best in the NFL. This guy is one of the best centers in the league, and he would give the Broncos a true anchor on their offensive line, which is something they haven't had since Matt Paradis departed. The guy I'm referring to is Ben Jones. Jones was recently released by the Tennessee Titans as a cap casualty. Prior to that, he spent the past 6 seasons anchoring down the Titans' offensive line and has really been one of the most consistent centers in the NFL. The Titans' offensive line has been renowned as one of the best run-blocking units in the NFL and has paved the way for league-leading rusher Derrick Henry to do what he does. Ben Jones was a critical piece of that puzzle in Tennessee. On top of that, he is one of those guys that would be great for the locker room. He gives everything that he has on every single snap and always leaves every ounce of energy on the field. There's a clip that went viral last year of Ben Jones coming off the field after the Titans had beat the Indianapolis Colts at home. Jones suffered an injury earlier in the game but continued to fight through it, and it was one of those dirty, physical, gritty games that came down to the end. The Titans ended up sealing the game by Ben Jones essentially forklifting Derrick Henry and picking him up and carrying him like 10 yards for a first down to basically ice the game. That was insane to watch, and it was clear that Ben Jones was super fired up after that, and he left every single ounce of everything that he had on the field. When he came off the field, he literally collapsed in Mike Vrabel's arms, and Vrabel was super emotional because he said he had never seen anything like that. Ben Jones epitomizes the kind of guy that the Broncos need in this locker room, and he would really help change the culture here in Denver. Overall, he just seems like a Sean Payton type of player. One downside to Ben Jones is 2023 will be his age 34 season. Although he did miss 5 games due to injury last season, when he was on the field, he was one of the best centers in the NFL. And prior to last year, injuries hadn't really been an issue for him. He had only missed one game in his entire career prior to last season. So I'd like to hope that last year was just an anomaly, and it seems like he's still got it at age 34. He's an absolute rock in pass protection. Last season, he only blew 2 blocks in pass pro. Although he did blow 11 blocks as a run blocker, the Titans run the ball so much, you're bound to get beat once in a while. 11 blown blocks on 293 rushing snaps is still a really good average. The hope is that Ben Jones would be able to come into Denver and bring consistent, steady play at the center position, which is what the Broncos desperately need. I feel like the Broncos could probably get Ben Jones in on a 1-year deal for, say, $7 or $8 million, and having him around would also take a lot of pressure off of Russell Wilson. Ben Jones could do the stuff like pointing out the defensive front and identifying the Mike linebacker, so Russell Wilson would not have to do that stuff. Getting Russ a veteran center would probably be one of the best things that the team could do for him. And in my opinion, Ben Jones fits the bill perfectly. Alright, Broncos country, I'm curious, how would you feel if the team brought in Ben Jones as a free agent? Drop those comments down below, I would love to hear from you. Be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. And while you're at it guys, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Gage Madrid NFL for continuing Broncos coverage. And for now, Broncos country, this has been another episode of Denver Broncos Syndicate. I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.